Hello and welcome to Modalities Movement Therapy. In this dynamic fascial pelvic release session, we are going to use bouncing, self-massage and other mobility to release the fascial tissue. Rather than holding static stretches, we explore dynamic fascial movements so that the body can respond elastically, rehydrating tissue and restoring natural spring and ease. Moving and bouncing through the pelvic region, we stimulate areas that often feel stuck or compressed from sitting, stress, or habitual habits. This helps the nervous system, because we incorporate diaphragmatic breathing to improve pelvic mobility, hip freedom, and give us a more connected relationship when we look fascially with the core. I'm excited to introduce these half domes in this session, new equipment that allows us to explore pressure, feedback, and instability in another way. These half domes invite deeper awareness of weight transfer, balance, and helping the pelvis respond intuitively and reflexively to movement, discovering a more natural rhythm. Because remember, movement is key, and if you don't use it, well, you lose it. We're going to begin in standing, and we're going to move over those half domes, just walking the feet and getting a little bit of stimulation into the foundation of the body. Just moving backwards and forwards, just loosening up this fascia. Relax the upper body, focus on the breathing. Nice, slow and steady breath in through the nose and out through the nose. And then step off the half domes. Let's breathe in. As you exhale, tuck your chin to your chest. Roll down through the spine. And let's come onto the hands and knees. We're going to rotate those half domes. Bring the hands flat onto the dome, onto the flat side of the dome rather, and we're going to breathe in. As we breathe in, flexing the wrists, just drop the heels of the hands towards the mat and then exhale. Breathing in, initiate the movement from the tailbone. Keep going, breathing in and exhale. Breathing in and exhale. Let's do another 4 and exhale. 3 to go and exhale. Last 2 and 1 more and exhale. Let's rotate them onto the dome side, and we're going to come into a seated position. So you're going to bring your buttocks onto the domes and bring the soles of your feet together. So we're opening up around the pelvic area and just stimulating the hips with a little bit of a bounce. Sitting nice and lifted in the pelvis. You're opening up over the sit bones and bouncing, really hydrating and getting some movement around this area. Keep going, 4 more and 3, 2 and 1. With the soles of the feet together, let's lift up and out of the hips and bend forward and come back up. As you do that, just push the knees down, just easing into this movement. Keep going, lift up and out of the hips. Another 4 and 3. Breathing in. Last 2 and 1. Okay, let's remove those half domes from under the buttocks. Sit nice and tall and articulate through the spine as you lower each vertebra onto the mat. Head comes down last, and in this position, just lie here, feel the pelvis, breathing in and exhaling. So we're focusing on breathing in for about 4 counts. Feel the expansion around the diaphragm, around the waist, and exhale. Finish off with 2 more, breathing in and exhale. And 1 more, breathing in and exhale. You're now going to breathe in an arch, opening up, getting that movement again into the pelvis and tuck. In this tilted position, let's lift the lower back off the mat and position the domes on either side of the spine in line with the hip bones. And we're going to continue breathing in and exhaling to tuck. Breathing in and exhaling. Let's feel that movement in the pelvis and tuck. We're going to open up again into this position and bounce. Opening up, loosening up around those lower back area. Feel the hips, feel the pelvis, the stability there, being cushioned with the half domes. Just continue to bounce a few more times. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the feet back onto the mat and just walk the feet out. And we're going to drop the knee. So you're going to slide the one knee down the inside of that shin, and you're going to bounce it there. So we're working into a bit of an inward rotation, and you're pulsing. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's do the same with the other side. Pulse that knee down along the inside of that shin and bounce. 5, 4, 3, 2. Continue moving. We're just going to alternate, bouncing the one knee, bouncing the other knee. Keep going for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's walk the feet back. We're going to lengthen the legs out and open up over the diaphragm. Let's bend the right knee, and taking our hands inside that iliac dungeon, so inside that right hip bone, we're going to anchor the hip bone and the skin with the left hand. Now using the right hand, we're going to breathe in, and we're going to slide the fingers up towards the rib cage as we lengthen out into that tensegrity, into that 2-directional pull. Then exhale and bend the right knee, keeping the foot on the mat. Breathe in lengthen out, and exhale and bend. So work directly onto the skin if you can. Then you're going to get a more effective stretch, lengthening out. Release it as you breathe out. Breathing in and lengthen. Exhale and bend. Let's do 4 more. Breathing in and exhale. Breathing in and exhale. Last 2 and exhale. 1 more. Breathing in and exhale. Straighten that leg out. Let's bend the left leg and breathing in. Work directly onto the skin and exhale. I'm a little bit chilly, so my fingers are freezing, so I'm going to keep my hands out my pants. Exhale and bend. Breathing in and exhale. So I'm anchoring with the left hand and using the right hand to lengthen into that 2-directional pull, bending and exhaling. Let's do another 4. Breathing in and exhale. This will help loosen up the diaphragm and help us with our breathing. Exhale and bend. Last 2. And exhale. 1 more. Breathing in and exhale. You can bend both knees and stretch the arms, lengthen the legs out and yawn, releasing any tension in the jaw. Bend the knees again and bring the feet back onto the mat. Now we're going to, let's breathe in, open up over the domes, exhale to tuck, let the lower back float off the domes, and I'm going to reposition the dome on my left side to the flat side up. Lower myself back onto the half domes, and now I'm going to cross my right ankle over my left leg. So the flat side of the dome is under the left hip. So that's going to give us a little bit more instability in the pelvis. And we're going to breathe in. I'm now crossing my right ankle over my left. So I'm going to use my right foot to create a little bit more tension around this leg. So I'm going to have to work harder to lift the foot, or lift the leg rather. Breathe in. As I exhale, coming into the tuck, and I'm lifting up, pushing with the foot, creating that resistance. Lower the foot back onto the mat. Breathe in. Exhale. Resist and lift. Lower down. Breathing in. Exhale. And resist. Release. Keep going. 6 more. Do another 4. Breathing in. And 3. Two more. And the last one. and release the right foot. Breathe in. Exhale, tuck. Lower back floats up off the domes, and let's reposition. So switching, so my right hip is on the flat side and the left hip is on the dome side. I'm going to cross my left ankle over my right now. So we're changing sides, breathing in. Create that resistance with the left foot and let the right foot float up and push against the foot, lifting up, activating those core muscles. Breathing in. Exhale, push, tuck, and resist as you lift. Here we go for 3. Breathe in for 4. 4 more. And 3. Last 2. And 1 more. And breathe in. Let that left foot float back onto the mat. Exhale to tuck. Lift the lower back off the domes. Rotate the half dome, the flat side, so we back over the domes and lengthen the legs out and have a nice big yawn and stretch. Lower the tailbone onto the mat and really open up over the diaphragm. You can just lie in this position, relax as much as possible. If you're not comfortable, bend the knees and bring the feet flat again and really open up over the pelvis. On your next inhalation, exhale, push into the half domes and tuck. Breathing in, exhale to tuck. If you're in this position, you can just arch the same as we are doing, breathing in and exhaling. Breathing in and exhaling. Another 4. Each time you lengthen, try and lengthen out of the arms, out of the legs, opening up in the joints, in the shoulders and the hips. Exhaling to tuck. Doing another 2. And 1 more. And exhale. Bring the feet flat onto the mat if yours aren't already. And open up. Exhale. Release the hands slightly closer, just a bit wider than hip distance. And let's continue breathing in and exhaling. Breathing in and exhaling. Keep going for 4 and exhaling. 3 more and exhaling. Last 2 and exhale. And one more, and exhale. You're in this tilted position. Let's lift the pelvis up, and we're going to rotate one of the half domes onto the flat surface. So this is going to create a little bit of instability on this side of the pelvis. What we're now going to do is continue breathing in and exhaling. Now, on the half dome side, I'm going to let my foot float off the mat. Then I'm going to stay in the tuck position as I release that foot onto the mat. Breathe in, exhale, stay in the tuck, lift the foot, release the foot, breathe in, and exhale. Feel the pelvis. Feel those hips. Are they located? Are they stable there on the same level? Feel what's going on in the pelvis. We want to get that movement. We want to get that spring, that elasticity. Lift up. This is your first option. If you'd like to challenge yourself a little bit more, as you lift the leg, we're going to keep the leg lifted and we're going to breathe in, lengthen the leg out, exhale and lift. Any strain in the lower back, you release the foot, otherwise you lengthen out and then exhale. Keep going. We're going to do another set of 8 and exhale. Remember, you've got both those options, either releasing the foot or extending the leg out. Breathing in for 6 more. And exhale. Breathe in and exhale. 4 to go. And exhale. 3 more. Last 2. And exhale. 1 more, breathing in. And on the exhalation, hold it in the tuck and release the foot. Let's open up again and exhale. Let the pelvis float up and let's change the positions of the half domes. Lower yourself back onto them and let's breathe in again. Open up, exhale. In the tuck position, let the foot on the half dome float off and keep the tuck position. Lower down, breathing in. Exhale. Remember, the more you focus on that breath, the more you're going to feel that contraction. Breathing in and exhale. Two more, then we're going to add the extension, or you'll continue this movement. Use the hands to feel as you're opening up, the expansion as you're exhaling. Feel that concentric contraction. Now you can continue breathing in and exhale. Release the foot if that's your option. Breathing in and exhale. Here we go for 3. Make sure the movement is coming from the pelvis and you lengthening into that hip flexor. Exhale to tuck. Keep going, 4 more. And exhale. 3 to go. And exhale. Last 2. And exhale. And 1 more. And exhale. Release the foot. Breathe in. Exhale to tuck. Let the lower back float off the domes. And now we're going to bring both sides of the half domes onto the lower back. Let's breathe in again. Exhale to tuck. Staying in the tuck position, right foot floats up, left foot floats up. Right foot floats down, left foot floats down. Breathe in. Exhale. You should be fine in this position. Any strain in the lower back, then you just alternate legs. So you'll breathe in. As you exhale, let the right foot float off and then drop the right foot. Breathe in. Exhale to tuck. Lift the left foot. Let the left foot float down. Breathe in. Otherwise, if you can, you continue with both legs. Lift and lift. Lower and lower. This is all on the exhalation. Breathing in. Exhale. Let the left foot float off now. Right foot, left foot down, and right foot release. Breathe in. Exhale to tuck. Right foot now, left foot, right and left. Let's do another 4. Exhale. Left foot floats up, right, left and right. 3 to go. To the right side, right, left, right and left. One more. Open up, breathing in, exhale to tuck. And let the pelvis float up. And let's take those half domes out from the lower back. And just stay there for a couple of seconds, feeling how you feel here. And exhale. Breathing in. And exhale. We're now going to lift one shoulder blade off the mat and position that half dome underneath that shoulder blade. Rocking onto that shoulder blade, reposition the other half dome under this side of the shoulder. Lengthen the legs out and just bring the arms next to the body. We're going to breathe in and lengthen the arms up next to the ears. Open yourself up over those half domes. Breathing in and exhaling. Breathing in and exhaling. 2 more. Breathing in and exhaling. Last one, breathing in On your exhalation, reach the hands up to the ceiling, palms facing towards your feet. What we're now going to do is you're going to breathe in. You're going to reach that shoulder blade up off the half dome and bring the elbow down onto the mat. So we're rocking onto this half dome. Breathing in and exhale. Open up. Breathe in and exhale. If you need to support your head, perhaps bring a cushion underneath. Otherwise, you're going to rock over onto that side and then exhale to center. Breathing in and exhale. We're doing another 4. Breathing in and exhale. Two more. And one more. Now we're going to bring the elbows onto the mat and the back of the hands. So we're keeping that at a 90-degree angle. You're going to breathe in this position. And here we're going to reach and lengthen the arm. So you are keeping the one side on the dome, on the half dome, breathing in, lengthening into your lateral side, and then exhaling, coming back to the center. Breathe into the other lateral side. So I'm on my right side, I'm breathing into my right lateral side, lengthening out of the shoulder, breathing out. Keep going for 3. Breathing in and exhale. Breathing in and exhale. Breathing in and exhale. I'm going to finish off with 2 more. Breathing in and exhale. The last one. And exhale. From this position, we're going to bring the feet back onto the mat and link the fingers and bring the head into the hands. As we breathe in, we open up over the half domes. As we exhale, we come into a chest lift. Breathing in, open up from the pelvis and then lower the upper body over the domes. Breathing in. Exhale as you start pushing the lower back in, and then your chest will follow. Inhale, open up. Exhale and lift. Let's open up and breathe in and exhale. Keep going, breathing in and exhale. Breathing in four more. And 3. Last 2. And 1 more. Hold it in the tuck position. Reach the hands to the knees. And let's come up into a nice lifted position. And we're going to position the half domes back underneath the glutes, underneath the buttocks, soles of the feet together. And like we did in the beginning, just open up and bounce into this position. Hopefully you're feeling a lot looser around the pelvic area and there's more mobility. Let's lift up and out of the hips, open up in the sit bones and bend forward and come back up. Breathing in. Breathing in. Keep going for 4 more. And 3. Last 2. And 1 more. And we'll leave it there for today. We're using these half domes, getting that pelvic mobility. Thank you and well done.